Hello and welcome to Bengal Field in this week's KSL Rewind Game of the Week with the girls Brighton Bengals taking on the Alta Hawks. My name is Scott Kellner. Alongside me is Andre Brown. We're really excited for this 5A Region 6 matchup between the Alta Hawks and the Brighton Bengals. Andre, how are you?
I'm doing good. Yeah, it should be a good game. Looks like we have some really good teams with some really good players, so excited to see the outcome of tonight's game.
Alta is 4-6 on the season, 1-3 in regional play. Brighton is 7-4 overall, 3-2 in region. This is a regional matchup. Should be very exciting. Brighton, so far, a couple of players that you want to keep an eye out for are Nielsen, the junior, and Rodney, the senior. That's number 4 and number 19, respectively. And then for Alta, the leading point scorer is Engstrom, as we are underway. Alta securing the possession, moving the ball down onto their offensive side of the field. And nice takeaway check there by Brighton. Brighton on the clear. Missed pass there at the midfield. A little bit of incidental contact, and that's going to be Alta ball. I think one of the things that we want to keep an eye on in this game, Andre, is really just the goalie play for both teams. Brighton, very strong goalkeeping, saving roughly 60% on the season. Alta just under 50. So we'll see if the goaltending from Brighton can keep them in the lead in this game. Alta looking to get the offense set up. That was Engstrom, the senior, who lost the ball. Ball's loose on the ground, scooped up by Brighton. That's Gomez, the junior, taking it down the sideline, looking for some help. Switchbacks to her left. Now Nielsen, one of the leading point scorers for this Bengals team. Shot, goal.
Great shot. Great transition goal there. Didn't give Alta a lot of time to set up their defense there. Great goal.
Pushing in transition gets Brighton on the board. And that is our first quarter goal, brought to you by Ricky's Paint. With 10 minutes left here in the first quarter, Brighton first on the board. Also want to give a shout out to Mr. Car Wash. This game brought to you this evening by Mr. Car Wash. 1-0 here with 10 minutes left in the first quarter. We'll get the draw. That's Nielsen for Brighton, taking the draw for the Bengals. And McDermott for Alta on the draw. Ball's loose. Oh, there's a push in the back there. So it's going to stay Bengals ball. It's Rodney, the senior. Going down the side to her right. Gets into the middle. A lot of contact on that play. Ball is knocked loose and scooped up. A procedural call there is staying Alta ball. Working it down the field on the clear. Very nice, successful clear here by Alta. Trying to get something in transition. Oh, off the pipe. And a nice save by Norton. Norton, the junior, in goal for Brighton.
Good interception by the Brighton goalie there. Oh, back the other way.
Nice. Goal by Aguilar, the sophomore. Gets that one to go past Norton. And that's another Ricky's Paint goal. Tied 1-1. You're looking at some of the stats between these two teams. Alta Brighton do stack up pretty evenly. Alta 118 goals on the season versus Brighton's 134. Alta very successful on ground balls, 240 ground balls on the season versus Brighton's 125, as Brighton's coming down off of the draw. Ball's knocked loose, but stays Brighton ball. Estelato, the senior, she moves it behind. Ball's at X. Nice ball movement here by this Brighton girls team as they're looking to set up the offense. Kind of running an open set, nobody on crease.
Great move there by number 4 for the goal.
And that's the senior Nielsen, the leading point scorer for this Brighton team. That's her 37th goal of the season, her 48th point.
Did a really good job at creating space between her defender to get that shot off in a really clear and clean spot there.
Some nice scoring action from both teams. Here in the first quarter, Brighton 2, Alta 1.
Looks like Sophia Nelson again is going up for the draw, trying to get Brighton on a run here. Hopefully, good outcome from both teams here. Looks like we'll be out of bounds, and it will be Alta ball starting clearing down the field. Looks like it's going the other way, and it's Brighton's ball as they have the opportunity to get it clear and get it across midfield here.
Marley Rodney looking to set up the offense. Moves it up top. Nice move inside. Bang. Albarico, the junior, with the finish.
Yeah, that was a great finish. Going down low and the goalie thinking that she might go high there and just passed it by the goalie there.
7s and 9s, Andre. You know, we always try to coach the kids to shoot low. High quality shots. Makes it so hard for the goalkeeper. So another goal by Brighton. 6 minutes and 26 seconds left here in the first quarter. Lining up for the draw. When that ball is knocked out of bounds by Alta, it'll be Brighton ball. Alta did a nice job pressuring Lee on the inbound. And ball's loose in the middle of the field, but it is scooped up by Brighton.
Yeah, Brighton's doing a really good job at getting set up in their offense and being very patient, passing that ball around the 12-meter arc there and making sure everyone's set up before they go ahead and run a play.
Nice little ball fake. Nielsen will carry it behind. Moves it across. Look inside. Pass was just a tad out of reach, but it's scooped up by the Bengals. It'll stay Bengals ball. Albarico looking for some help. She finds Delato. Delato trying to probe the defense, looking for a soft spot. Wow, nice move by Rodney, the senior, the second leading point scorer for this Bengals team.
Yeah, they did a really good job there, right? Just setting everything up and waiting for the Alta defense to just kind of slip and maybe fall asleep a little as she just makes a cut right in the inside to get right in front of the goalie there. Great play.
So that's Brighton 4, Alta 1, with 4 minutes and 48 seconds left here in the first quarter. Off the draw, Alta scoops up the loose ball. An important possession for Alta here. It seems like the momentum has really shifted towards Brighton.
Alta getting set up here, trying to get something going on offense. Looks like we're getting a reset here. Looks like we were getting a little too close to the box there. Had 3 Bengals right on the Alta player for a reset.
That was Smith attacking the goal, loses the ball. It was a nice opportunity, just lost the ball in traffic. And the Bengals are on the clear with Norton looking for some help. Trying to find an open Bengal player. Norton still holding on to the ball, being very patient. Alta doing a great job covering in the midfield. But Norton, great outlet pass, is able to find Nielsen. Nielsen with a head of steam going to the rack. Dumps it off. Pass wasn't handled. It's picked up by Alta. We're going the other way.
Yeah, Brighton's been really good at just controlling the tempo there, making sure that they get the right people on and making sure that they get the right pass to make that an opportunity for them.
Engstrom dumps it down to Ashby. Ashby loses it, but picks it back up. Ball's behind now with Davies.
Alta here trying to set something up on offense, trying to get something going for them.
1 minute and 40 seconds left here in the quarter. Here's Angstrom, the leading point scorer for this Alta team. Tries to curl around the crease. Nice.
Great patience on that goal. Waited for everyone. Waited for that slide to come from the defense and found the right opening to can it.
And that feels a little bit like exactly what Alta needed. You know, it seemed like all the momentum was shifting towards Brighton. It's getting to be late in the quarter. You want to try to keep it a close game.
Yeah, we can't have that run. Can't have that run away from them. Looks like the draws are pretty even so far. Looks like it's pretty 50-50. Brighton gets a really good draw control there and is running down the offensive side.
That was Miller on the draw, and a nice handle by her.
Great split dodge for a goal. Just missed a little wide left of the goal there. Looks like it's still Brighton ball going back to the attack here.
That's Alberico with the shot. Working around from behind the goal. Moves back to her left. Bang.
Great handle, being able to go ahead, get a little split dodge in, roll back, and find the lefty goal there. Great job for Brighton creating that offensive play.
That was Henderson, the senior, her second goal of the season. So nice job by Henderson, moving back to her left hand and getting that one to go past the Alta goalie.
Yeah, and you mentioned the second goal there. You know, is that going to be the deciding factor? Is, you know, what teams show up, and you know what stars show up, and obviously what players who might not have as many stats as the others show up. And it looks like Brighton's players are really coming to the table here against Alta.
Alta wins the draw, 35 seconds left. Nice.
Great goal, great transition. Keeping them in this one. Alta's fighting really hard here to keep it close for them.
That was the second goal of the night for Angstrom. A little bit of whatever you can do, I can do better.
A little bit.
Angstrom, the leading point scorer for this Alta team. That was her 48 points now on the season. When we look at some of the other leading point scorers for Alta, Davies, 29 points on the season. Young with 22. Ashby with 19. There's a handful of players for this Alta Hawks team who can score points. As Brighton looking to maybe try to take some momentum into the second quarter. Nice.
Great goal. Great response from Brighton. With just short time on the clock in the first quarter here, did a really good job at pushing transition and putting in the back of the net there.
Yeah, nice finish by Sophie Nielsen. With just 7.9 seconds left in the first quarter.
That puts Nelson at 40 goals on the season, with 36 coming into this game.
And that will be the end of the first quarter, with Brighton 6 and Alta 3. Want to give a special shout out to some of our other sponsors, the Children's Academy Preschool. At Children's Academy, you can feel peace of mind when leaving your child in their care. Children's Academy is dedicated to creating a safe and healthy environment, focusing on each child as individuals so they can learn social skills and self-discipline in an educational environment. Learn more at mychildrensacademy.com, and we'll be right back after this quick break for this regional matchup between Brighton versus Alta. Quarter, if you're just tuning in to this KSL Rewind game of the week between Brighton High School girls and Alta High School girls lacrosse matchup. My name is Scott Kellner. Alongside me is Andre Brown. It's an exciting first quarter. Andre, what were some of your first thoughts, in that quarter and takeaways for each team?
Yeah, I mean, it looked like with Brighton, they do a really good job at just controlling the offense and waiting for the perfect moment. They've also had a couple, 2 or 3 goals on transition, which has really helped them kind of pull away a little bit. But Alta's doing a really good job at making sure that they get the ball down the field once they do get a stop on defense, and I think that's helped them get a couple goals here in that first quarter as well.
Yeah, and it looked like there was a penalty there, just Brighton in the shooting space of Gracie McDermott. So she'll get a shot from the 8-yard, and nice, she gets it. Gracie McDermott.
Great goal there. Something Alta needed to come out, right? They came out firing, got a really good goal, and now it is 6-4. Brighton Bengals are up 6, and Alta Hawks are at 4 here. Looks like it's going to be an exciting quarter for both teams as they battle to try to get a good spot going into the half here.
$11 minutes and 14 seconds left in the Ricky's Paint second quarter. Ricky's Paint sponsoring each quarter of this game. Thank you to Ricky's Paint. And a procedure to call there against Alta. It'll be Brighton ball.
Brighton looking like they're doing their normal. They're getting set up in their offense here, being very patient, making sure that they get everything set up so they can get a really good look over here at the Alta defense.
It's Avery Miller with the ball. She flips it up to Sophie Nielsen. Sophie moves it down. Aggressive sweep over the top by Caroline Lee. Caroline gets it in the middle. Nice. Great move by Caroline. The speed by Caroline Lee breaks down the defense. Another Mr. Car Wash goal for the Brighton Bengals makes it 7-4. Relatively high scoring between these two teams.
Great draw control there by the Alta Hawks.
That was Gracie McDermott on the draw for Alta. Megan Davies moves the ball back up top to McDermott. Miley Ashby taking it down the right side. Megan Davies behind now. Curling around the crease. Davies looking to find some cutters inside. She finds one. Nice. Beautiful assist there by Davies to Ella Engstrom.
Yeah, those are hard shots to save, right above your head. It's kind of hard to see when it comes out of the stick. Great placement.
And that's the number 1 and 2 leading point scorers on that play. You can see the chemistry between the two, both seniors. And just great patience by Alta and by Davies to find the cutting Engstrom. Lining up for the draw now. Ball's up. And a procedure call against Alta, so it'll stay Brighton ball. It's up top with Ava Delato. Now Kit Barlow moves it over to Sophie Nielsen. Sophie Nielsen moving across the top. Finds Bella Fisher. Brighton being patient on offense, trying to find the matchup that they want to attack here. Avery Miller dodges it in the middle, but pulls it out. Sophie Nielsen spins. Nice.
Wow, great goal there. Goes right down the heart of the defense. She seems to be finding all of her luck there, just making one really good move and switching hands and making the defense move around, and finds the back of the net against the Alta goalie there. Great job.
And that's another Mr. Car Wash Brighton goal by Sophie Nielsen. I believe that's her third goal of the game. Sophie, the leading point scorer for this Brighton Bengal team. And with moves like that, I think you can see why. Her fifth goal, pardon me. That's why there's two of us in here. Catch each other's mistakes.
Great draw control by our Alta Hawks as they get that draw there and are moving it down the field. Oh, looks like we have a missed pass, but Alta seems to pick it up here. Oh, going Brighton ball here.
Ball's loose along the sideline. Scooped up by Nielsen. Spins to her left. Sophie backs it out with Ava Delato now. Brighton looking to set up the offense. Just an errant pass there, goes out of bounds. It'll be Alta ball. As Mia Larson will try to clear here for the Hawks. And a nice stick check by the Bengals knocks it out of bounds. And it's back in the stick of Nielsen. Nielsen moves it up top to Delato. That pass off the stick of Miller and goes out of bounds, so it will be Alta Hawks ball on the far sideline, right around the 33-yarder. That's Miley Ashby for the Hawks, but the Hawks lose it. Avery Miller gives it over to Nielsen.
Great defensive stand there by the Alta Hawks.
Caroline Lee now sweeping across the top, looking for an opportunity to attack the defense. She's going hard to the cage, and she gets that one to go.
Yeah, Alta seems to be having a lot of success going across the top there, getting a sweep and making a good one or two moves just to get past their defender and finding the back of the net. Seems like Brighton's been doing that all game long here.
And so that will be 9 goals for Brighton versus 5 goals for Alta. 9-5 here with 5 minutes and 30 seconds left in the second quarter. Lining up for the draw is Marley Rodney for the Bengals.
Great draw control by Alta to get that ball up and into their stick here. Looking to get on the offense and probably settle it and be patient and find something to get one in the back of the net themselves.
Ball's behind with Megan Davies. Davies looking for some cutters up top. Really nice off-ball movement by Alta. Everybody was moving. Davies rolls back to her left. Wow, and the defense by Brighton just smothers her. And I think that'll be a shooting space violation?
Shooting space violation. They're going to be set up on this 8-meter line here, and Alta's going to get a chance to get a good shot off on Brighton's goalie here.
Oh, Davies with the low-to-low, just outside, just wide of the goal. It's backed up by Alta, so it'll stay Alta ball.
Alta's doing a really good job, as you mentioned earlier, just moving off ball every single one of their midfielders.
Ooh, nice save by Norton, shot by Ashby, stays Alta ball. It's back in the stick of Davies. Davies curls, another great save by Norton. That was one of the things that we talked about at the start of the game, Andre, is just the save percentage by Norton, saving over 60% of her shots. You know, you really have to work hard to create high-quality looks on Norton, as evidenced there by 2 great opportunities by Alta, and Norton with a couple of great saves.
And I think, Alta's really realizing that there when they're moving so much off ball, trying to get the goalie's head moving a little bit more for a quick shot.
And there was a push call on Brighton, so it'll stay Alta ball. Clearing out of their defensive zone into their offensive zone.
Great ball movement there by Alta to get that ball up into the offensive side.
And that was Gomez who carried it over the midfield line. It was in the stick of Davies. And now Cameron... Oh, excuse me. That was Johnson. Pardon me. And Norton will make a save and outlet pass. Emma Gessel running the clear. Now it's up to Marley Rodney running it down to the offensive end. Nielsen uses the screen. Caroline Lee taking the ball behind. 2 minutes left here in the second quarter. Lee attacking, moves inside, little face dodge, rolls back to her right, shot, bang. Caroline Lee. Her second goal of the game, third goal of the game. And another Mr. Car Wash goal by Caroline Lee makes it 10 Brighton, 5 Alta with 1 minute and 30 seconds left here in the second quarter. Marley Rodney looking to take the draw for the Bengals, and Gracie McDermott will take it for the Alta Hawks. And ball's picked up by Rodney. She's running it down to the offensive end. So aggressive, I feel like, with the defenders all around her, and she gets that shot to go. Great shot by Rodney. Just super patient. I feel like working not just for the first shot, but making some extra effort to try to get a better one.
Yeah, really no time wasted there. Saw an opportunity and took it.
So Marley Rodney with her second goal of the game. One of the leading point scorers for this Brighton Bengals team is Nielsen with 47 points on the season before today. She has 5 goals today, so that'll put her at 52 points on the season. Caroline Lee with 27 points. She has 3 goals today to make it 30 on the season. And then Marley Rodney with 2 goals on the day to give her 29 points on the season. So you see the leading point scorers for the Bengals having a big impact in this game so far.
Great little hockey there by Brighton to get that ball out of the draw. And they are running down for an offensive opportunity here. Great defense to slow it down and really allow the Alta team to get set up on defense.
There's a 3-second call on Alta. It's kind of similar to the 3-second violation in basketball where you can't be in the paint for more than 3 seconds. And so that will be a shot from the 12-meter for Brighton.
And on that 12-meter, right, they have to get a pass off first, or the defense has to touch it before they can shoot. But on the 8-meter, they're allowed to shoot right away, and that's a goal for Brighton to further their lead. Brighton Bengals are up now 12-5 against the Alta Hawks.
And that's another Mr. Car Wash goal for Marley Rodney, her 3rd goal of the night. And Brighton really seems like they're firing on all cylinders on offense, with their 3 leading point scorers, all with 3 goals or more. I mean, with 39 seconds left here in the second quarter, what do you think the Alta Hawks can maybe do to sort of take some of these key players for Brighton out of the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're really going to have to focus on those cuts in the inside. Brighton's doing a really good job at really opening up the Alta defense and making it a really tough spot for the defense to try to stay in front of them and keep their distance and and get really good defensive position, and Brighton's doing a good job breaking that down.
Sophie Nielsen rolls, shot, and that was a goal. It looked like that might have just been outside, but another great goal there by Nielsen as time was winding down. 19.8 seconds left here in the second quarter. That's Sophie Nielsen's sixth Mr. Car Wash goal of the game.
Brighton's doing a really good job, and they always have, right? Pushing that transition and making offense really, really quickly and making it hard for any defensive team to set up and get set and prepare for their offensive sets there.
Marley Rodney taking the draw for the Brighton Bengals.
Great draw control by the Alta Hawks there to get that ball back.
And as time's expiring, the Hawks will, 7 seconds left, the Hawks look to advance the ball quickly into the offensive end. The ball's loose and picked up by the Brighton Bengals as the time expires here at the end of the second quarter. This quarter brought to you by Ricky's Paint with the final score 13-5. Andre, some of your quick thoughts on the first half.
Yeah, I mean, Brighton is doing a fantastic job at pushing transition. They're not only are they getting set up when they don't have the transition, but they're doing a really good job at pushing that ball, getting through, and clearing the ball really quickly to get some really fast, quick shots, especially off the draw there this quarter. It seemed to be the difference in the quarter for Brighton versus Alta. Alta's doing a really good job. They seem to have controlled the draw a little bit more than the first quarter, but Brighton is just doing a good job at putting that pedal to the metal.
And with that, we'll take a quick timeout at halftime, and we'll be back with the start of the third quarter. And we're back with the start of the third quarter where the Brighton Bengals are taking on the Alta Hawks in this 5A Region 6 matchup. If you're just tuning in to KSL's Rewind Game of the Week, my name is Scott Kellner. Alongside me is Andre Brown. This quarter is sponsored by Ricky's Paint. Thank you to Ricky's Paint for sponsoring all of the quarters in this evening's matchup. Brighton pretty dominant there in the first half with significant contributions from Sophie Nielsen, Marley Rodney, and Caroline Lee, all with a hat trick or more, as Alta will get a quick save, and that pass is intercepted by the Bengals. Brighton Bengals are 7-4 on the season. The Alta Hawks are 4-6. And nice move there by Emma Giselle.
We'll be set up here on the 8-meter here for Brighton to get a chance to get a good goal.
Emma Gessel will get a one-on-one shot here.
Great
and a nice save by Alta. Gessel gets the rebound, and it's going to stay Bengals ball. But yeah, great save there by the Alta goalkeeper. Marley Rodney, she has 3 goals on the night. She passes it across to Gessel.
Yeah, there's Brighton with that sweep again, trying to get something going on the offense.
Rodney loses a little bit of a turf monster there, I think.
Yeah.
Rodney loses her footing, but it's going to stay Bengals ball.
Yeah, it looks like we have a shooting space violation there. and it's going to remain Brighton ball.
Rodney looks for the cutter off the wing, but the pass was batted down. Loose ball picked up by the Bengals. Nice cut there again by Caroline Lee. Pass was just a little high for Lee. Kind of dribbles down into the corner, and it's knocked out of bounds by Brighton. So it's going to be the Alta Hawks ball. Can you talk a little bit about the shooting space violation, just for the folks watching at home, and kind of what that means?
Yeah, of course. So what that shooting space is, you can't be in front of the offensive player who is looking to go to the cage while they're actively in the motion of a shot. When that does happen, depending on where they are on the field, they'll be on the 8 or 12 meter. If they are on the 12 meter, as we saw just barely, they'll have to pass the ball, or the defense will have to touch it before they're able to take a shot. So that is the shooting space there. If they are on the 8 meter, they are free to go ahead and take a shot.
That was very helpful, Dre. Thank you. Alta on offense now, looking to move the ball. Behind the goals, Davies. Rolls back to her left, back to her right, sweeps across the top, shot, bang.
Great shot there. You know, some of the differences between Brighton and Alta, looks like Alta's really playing from behind the goal, trying to get some more opportunities coming around the crease, while Brighton is really playing a very heavy midfield set, trying to get some goals and trying to get some looks going straight through the middle of the defense on the Alta Hawks. And they do a really good job, and Alta gets that goal and makes it 13-6. Brighton is up 13-6 against the Alta Hawks.
Marley Rodney on draw for the Bengals. Gracie McDermott on the draw for the Alta Hawks. Nice draw control there by the Hawks.
Yeah, it looks like Alta's kind of having a little bit of a go here. Their sideline is getting very amped up, and it looks like they are going in for trying to get a little bit of a comeback and trying to close this gap between Brighton here. Hard penalty. Looks like it's going to stay Alta ball as Brighton has a little bit of a push in the back.
That's Brewer Smith with the ball behind the cage. She moves it to Davies. Davies, one of the leading point scorers for this Alta Hawks team. And to your point, she does like to attack from behind the goal.
Yeah, doing a really good job at making those one-on-one opportunities. Looks like we have a flag down here on what seems to be Brighton, and it looks like we're going to have a free position shot from the 8 meter. Let's see if Davies can go ahead and get a good goal on Brighton's goalie here.
A shooting space violation on Brighton. So Davies will get another shot from the 8 meter. Nice.
Wow, great goal by Davies. Loading up and finding an open spot against Brighton's goalie here. And we have a game. It looks like we are coming into Brighton 13, and it looks like Alta is sitting at 7, closing the gap slowly.
Six minutes and 15 seconds left in this Ricky's Paint third quarter. with a nice goal by Davies to put Alta at 7. Marley Rodney taking the draw for Brighton, and Gracie McDermott for the Alta Hawks.
Great draw control by Alta. Just flicks it over to the outside midfielder.
Miley Ashby runs into the offensive zone, tries to feed it into the middle. And ball was loose. There's a penalty against Alta, so it's Brighton ball. It's dropped in the midfield, but scooped up by Gessel. Gessel moves it ahead to Marley.
Oh, hard foul there against Alta on Brighton. And it looks like Brighton is going to have an opportunity here to try to get something going on the offense. Looks like she's set up on that 12-meter line. Let's see if Brighton can get something rolling for them.
Marley Rodney takes it in. Bang.
Great shot. Great goal by Brighton there. Really took an opportunity to get that free position and make something of it.
So I have Marley Rodney on 4 goals for the night. To put Brighton up 14 to Alta's 7. If we can get the scoreboard to cooperate. There we go.
Here we go with another draw.
Ball's up.
And Alta has been doing amazing with draw control in this third quarter, really trying to make something happen. Looks like we have a little bit of a whistle there, but Alta will remain with the ball.
McDermott throws it to Davies behind the goal. Oh, great check by Avery Miller, the takeaway check. Knocked the ball loose. It's loose in the middle of the field. It's going to be scooped up by Sophia Smith near the 50-yard line. And Alta will come back on the attack. Finds an wide open Penelope Young right in front of the goal.
Yeah, that was a great cut. Saw what the defense was doing, reacted to it, found herself some space in the middle, and buried that goal. Trying to get Alta to close that gap against Brighton here. Really good offensive look.
So that's 8 points for Alta with 4 minutes and 7 seconds left in this Ricky's Payne third quarter. And just a great job of taking advantage of the unsettled situation, pushing it in transition before the defense has a chance to get set up, and finding a wide open Penelope Young right in front of the goal. Ball's loose off the draw in the Brighton defensive zone.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have in the players' sphere call, and those watching, right? You have a little bit of an invisible box, so to say, around your shoulders and your neck and your head area. And if the defensive stick gets in that zone, it will be a turnover, and it will be the other team's ball, as it is Brighton's right now.
It's kind of similar to like a high sticking penalty in hockey, perhaps. It's kind of how I like to think about it a little bit.
looks like Brighton's trying to play a little bit more behind the cage here in the second half. Really looking for a lot of cutters and trying to really move the offense around and try to find a really good look. And they're bringing it back up to the midfield as they're cutting across here. Looks like we have another player's sphere call, and it's going to remain Brighton ball with a free position and an opportunity for a goal. Great save by the Alta goalie there.
That's Caroline Lee curling around the crease.
Another great save by Alta's goalie as Alta picks it up, and we are going the other way here.
Just an errant pass there in the middle of the field. Ball's loose, scooped up by Brighton. Marley Rodney now. Moves it down behind the goal. Emma Henderson.
Another great defensive stop by Alta as they're going to go ahead and clear the ball up the field. Gets a great 20-yard pass roughly, and they are going the other way on this fast break.
Miley Ashby moves it down to Penelope Young. Young will take it behind the goal. Is Brewer Smith.
A great defensive stop by Brighton there.
Yeah, it seemed like Smith had a chance, but the defense kind of closed in around her.
Yeah, it really made it hard to get a good shot off.
Megan Davies now looking for some cutters. Being very patient, trying to work this matchup, find a soft spot in the defense. Screen there by Davies using the screen. Rolls back to her right.
Great save by Brighton's goalie. Finds it at her feet, and it's going the other way. Yeah, Brighton's been very, very patient on these clears, making sure that they find the right looks here. Looks like Alta's in a match feet ride here, trying to deny the ball from any of the Brighton players. Oh, great pass to Nelson, and hails it, and that will be the end of our third quarter here against our matchup against the Brighton Bengals and Alta Hawks.
And it's 14-8 after the end of the third quarter. We'll take a quick break and be right back. And we're back at the start of the fourth quarter for this KSL Rewind Game of the Week between the Brighton Bengals and the Alta Hawks. Here on Bengal Field, it's been an exciting game, very high scoring. As Sophie Nielsen looking to attack early, gets slowed down by the Alta Hawks defense.
Yeah, Alta did a really good job outscoring Brighton in that third quarter 3-1. Scott, what do you think were some of the big differences that Alta came out and made some adjustments? What do you think those adjustments were?
I think one of the things that you mentioned was just Alta was doing a great job of controlling the draw, kind of creating extra possessions in the middle of the field, giving their offense a chance, to kind of control the time of possession. And then I think it was really some great play, individual play by Davies behind the goal, facilitating, being that distributor, that goal scorer, and a great goal there. I think that was number 1, Ava Delato, to make it 16-8.
Yeah, great goal there. Top right, pins the offside high from that goalie. Always a tough shot when you're a righty goalie trying to save a lefty shot. Coming in hot on the right-hand side. Great shot placement there.
That was a Mr. Car Wash goal by Ava Delato. But to answer your question, I think just really Alta did a better job of possessing the ball. I think that started on the draws and sort of controlling that. Also doing a good job on defense, trying to slow Brighton down. Some of these really great players, and Sophie Nielsen and Marley Rodney, who've had big impacts on the game, trying to slow them down. And I think that's why they won that quarter.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And we had some huge saves, too, from the Alta goalie, really making a difference and chopping that down a little bit more as well. Looks like Alta's going to retain possession here, looking to get set up in their offense, moving the ball around up top, trying to get maybe a couple sweeps up off the top of the 12-meter here. Let's see if they go ahead and pass it behind to try to get some more of their goals that they've been looking for all game.
As Brewer Smith handling the ball now. She gives it over to Miley Ashby. Excuse me, that's Reese Aguilar.
Yeah, Alta's doing a really good job right now slowing down and really looking for an awesome opportunity on offense. Looks like they're going to go behind again. Davies with the ball, maybe looking to get a good play here. Let's see if she passes it off. Oh, great look. Let's see if she gets this off.
Nice defense by Brighton.
Yeah, great defense. Way to be patient.
Davies nowhere to go. She's looking to find an open cutter or that's Jenica White now. Excuse me, Brewer Smith now with the ball. Sweeping across to her left.
Wow.
Ball's dropped, picked up by Sophie Nielsen. Sophie Nielsen's they've got numbers. Brighton's got numbers here. 5-on-4.
Oh, great shot right off the left-hand side of the pipe. And it looks like we're going to be staying Brighton ball here. Looks like we have an 8-meter free position. Let's see what Brighton can do with this, or if Alta's defense can stay sturdy and hold this possession to no score.
Borrego in the cage for Alta. She's made some great saves in the third quarter. Ball's loose. It's picked up by Ava Delato.
Yeah.
Off a fresh goal.
Brighton seems to be picking up the tempo a little bit here on offense with a lot of cutters coming in from the midfield. Looking to go for a sweep with Nelson. Oh, Nelson's doing a great job. Gets the shot off, and that is another Brighton goal. Great offensive set there. Moving through, setting that kind of stutter pick, and allowing Nelson to go through the top, around that 8 to 12 meter line right through there and getting that righty rip into the back of the net.
Sophie Nielsen with her 7th goal of the game. I mean, she's 47 points on the season coming into tonight with 7 goals now. That puts her at 54 for the season. You know, a really dominant performance tonight by Sophie Nielsen. And another Mr. Car Wash goal for Miss Sophie Nielsen, her 7th of the night.
Yeah, getting over 50 points in any season is special, so it's awesome to see she's adding on to that tonight.
Marley Rodney taking the draw for the Brighton Bengals. And Gracie McDermott for the Alta Hawks. Ball's loose in the middle of the field. Scooped up by Caroline Lee. And gosh, she's fast.
Yeah, she's got some pace. It looks like we have a little bit of a sphere, player's sphere penalty, and it's going to retain to be Brighton's ball as they set up in their offensive sets.
Nice defense by Alta. Caroline has to pull that out. Tries to turn the corner, but again, Alta closes the door and finds a Marley Rodney.
Yeah.
Great job by Caroline Lee, sort of sweeping across the top, drawing the defense to, just a classic draw and dump play, just drawing the defense to one side, looking back to find Marley Rodney with a clear shot at the goal. Rodney diving straight at the goal and gets that one to go past Borrego.
Yeah, Borrego was super close there, just a split second behind, and she would have had that. But again, great offensive set by Brighton, opening up, spreading out the defense, and making that cutter a very easy pass to really get a good shot off there.
So that's 17 for Brighton, 8 for Alta, with 7 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. This quarter sponsored by Ricky's Paint, as the Alta girls will scoop up the loose ball. That was Miley Ashby with the ground ball. Alta looking to clear it over the midfield line and into their offensive zone. Cameron Gomez moves the ball forward to Ashby.
Yeah.
Now Brewer Smith moves it behind to Megan Davies.
Yeah, this is fun to watch. Two very different offensive sets here. Alta running from behind the cage a lot, and then you have Brighton going to the top of the midfield here. And this is just a fun game to watch, especially when you have two different offensives running at each other.
So there's a penalty against Brighton. It'll remain Alta ball. It's with Megan Davies on the far side of the field, right around the 10-yard line. Megan moves it up top. It's with Bella Fisher.
Hard check there. Gets the ball loose, and Brighton seems to pick it up, and they are running on the offensive end, and they have numbers.
Marley Rodney running the fast break. Rolls back to her right. Shot. Bang.
That is a great rollback there to create space, enough space to get that shot off. Great goal by Brighton.
And that's Marley Rodney's 5th goal of the night. Her 5th Mr. Car Wash goal. Each Brighton goal tonight sponsored by Mr. Car Wash. And Marley Rodney, fresh off the goal, will line up for the draw against her common opponent, Gracie McDermott. It seems like both of these girls have been taking most of the draws throughout the course of the night.
Yeah, they seem to be their go-to players for both teams. And we have a little bit of a ground ball, and it looks like Brighton, again, just pushing the transition, doing really, really well, getting upfield fast and looking for great opportunities.
Eva Delato splits the defense. Moves the ball behind. And a shot there by Smith. Borrego trying to clear the ball. Kind of an errant pass. The ball is loose.
Looks like we have another player sphere call here, and it's going to retain to be Brighton ball.
3 minutes and 45 seconds here in the fourth quarter. (18-8) with about 3.5 left to play.
Yeah, great defensive stand by Alta there. Looks like Alta's going to get a chance here to clear the ball up the field. Oh, she dropped the ball. Looks like we have a ground ball, and Brighton seems to pick it up, and we are back on offense for our Brighton Bengals. Looks like there was a miscommunication between Borrego and the defender there, and it will retain Brighton ball.
Sophie Nielsen. Now Bella Fisher tries to work to get in front of the goal. Great defense by Alta.
Yeah.
Some kind of illegal body check there. To stay Brighton ball. Bella Fisher lined up just below the 10-yard line, around the 8-meter. And she will take the shot and get with that one to go past Borrego. Bella Fisher with her first goal of the night. Two minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Brighton up 19-8. It felt like Alta was mounting a little bit of a comeback there in the third quarter, outscoring Brighton 3-1 in that quarter. And Brighton then coming out in the fourth and just doing a lot of what we saw in the first half, just being aggressive in transition, being aggressive on offense, finding those cutting middies, and some really nice play by Marley Rodney. Some of those draw and dump plays that we saw. Some nice plays by Ava Delato.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Brighton just seems to be a little bit quicker in between the lines tonight, and that's really shown, and it's shown on the scoreboard as well. But Alta's done a really good job at minimizing this in the second half.
On Marley Rodney with a great opportunity, just loses the ball. Scooped back up by Brighton. That's Bella Fisher. Bella Fisher gets inside, tries to split the defense. A lot of contact there. That's going to be a sphere call.
Yeah, it looks like we're setting up at the 8-meter again here.
So Bella Fisher, fresh off of her last goal, she'll get another opportunity here.
Yeah, let's see if they can capitalize on this penalty here. And they do. Great goal, great finish, good bounce shot.
A nice shot placement by Bella Fisher to get that one to go past Borrego. As the clock is winding down, 5 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. We'll let the time expire, and Brighton will win 22-8. They'll go 8-4 on the season, 4-2 in region. And Brighton Bengals win over the Alta Hawks. And Dre, just a couple of initial thoughts on the game, what Brighton did well, what Alta did well, and your selection of a player of the game.
Yeah, I think as we look at both teams, both came out with really good talent. Both of them had really good looks. Seemed to be running two different offensives, which was fun to watch as well. But I think we have to give the player of the game to our Brighton, Sophie Nelson, as she just dominated this game and always seemed to find the back of the net. Great job to Brighton, and to both teams again. Good luck with the rest of your guys' season.
Yeah, Sophie Nielsen, 7 goals on the night. Well deserving of the player of the game. That's all for us here on KSL Rewind's Game of the Week. I'm Scott Kellner alongside Andre Brown. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you again soon.